So here is the update progress on the Miata. Joel came through and fixed all the minor hail dings and some small scratches that were in there. And there were some other dents that we took care of for the lady. So now he did the mud work. It was just minor mud work. So he was able to sand it with some 180 grit, throw some glaze over it, body filler. It's just a glaze. It's like a top coat, and sand it down with some 180. And then I'm going to come back now and prime it with a high build primer. I'll put about 2 to 3 coats on everything. I'm going to get this thing masked up. And he still has to fix the bumper. We need some repair material to fix a crack in the lower bumper. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing masked up, ready to go, so I can get this thing primed. All right, so basically here I am in a time lapse, and we usually use 1.5" tape for most of masking. Now, 3/4 inch tape is used as well, but it makes it easiest to use 1.5" basically for everything. And right now I'm back masking everything, and the tape was folded up, so the sticky side is up, because what I'm going to eventually do is bag the whole entire car and then take a razor blade and cut out the surround of it, and then it'll be protected from all the overspray. So here we go with the bag. Now this is just automotive bag. It is about 16 feet wide, and paint will stick to this so that you don't have to worry about also using paper to cover the outside edges. So here I'm just taking a razor blade and going just on the edge of where the green tape is. So now we pull the mask off, and now we just start masking it up and outlining it, and it will be all ready. All right, so there was the time lapse of me masking, bagging, and taping up the car. So now what I do on here is I reverse mask this. So I take half the tape. I use 1.5", but I took half the tape and I had half of it up and half of it on the panel. And then I mask the whole thing here, the whole fender, and then I roll that down a little bit. And then on the fender side, I just have it hang over. See that, how it just hangs over about 1/8 inch the whole way? And I back mask that the whole way so that when I shut it, it'll stick to itself and create a nice seal in here, because we don't want the primer to go down. Now, I do have a spot right here which I'm going to tuck some foam in, because the hinges are here and I can't get my fingers behind here. It's too tight in there. So I'm just going to stuff this with some foam. I also forgot to mask the backside of the washer nozzle, so we'll just stick some foam in there and that'll be fine too. So I back masked all of this. I reverse masked this, so I just held it over a little bit, and then see how the sticky side is up on that green tape right there, okay? And then I back masked all of this. Back masking is called when you just take the tape and you stick the sticky side up like this. So I back masked all of this, back masked, did the same thing. See how I got that tape? It's kind of hard to tell on this one, but see how I got the tape right there? And I also am going to have to put some foam in here. And then bag the whole car, kind of bat it down a little bit, and then just run a razor blade very carefully. I've been doing this a lot of years, so you don't want to cut too deep. It's just enough to score that edge, and you can rip that plastic right off, and then you just tape right down to it. So this is pretty much ready for primer, besides a couple spots that I have to finish masking up. But now that's it. It's ready for primer. So just you could degrease it. I already cleaned it before I masked it, but you can also take some wax and grease remover. I try to stay off of the bodywork. You don't want that wax and grease remover soaking into the bodywork. And then tack rake it off and put 3 coats on. Here's the foam I'm going to use. It's actually like made for, this is almost empty. It usually comes in a really long roll. It's made to go in between door gaskets, or like in between the door and the quarter, or in between there. But I just like to use that, just ball it up a little bit, stick it in there, and it expands, and that's it. So here's where I just stuck it down in there. You can take your screwdriver, best tool in the world, and just gently push it down in there to take that gas or take that gap and fill that gap up. Now this stuff does have a sticky side and a non-sticky side, so you just got to be careful when you're jamming it down in there. But now it's nice and sealed so the primer won't blow through and make a mess underneath. All right, so it's all primed now. So I put 3 coats of black primer on the bumper and on the car. So now we can just let this sit, and I'm going to come back and block it with some 320 and then go ahead and sand the whole rest of the panels down. I got to, once I unmask it, I can get the lower part there too. But sand the whole thing down with some 400, sand this all down with 400. So now that we got the Miata all primed and everything, I'm going to sand this tomorrow, and we will get this thing painted within the next couple days. So if you're interested in seeing that update video, also I'll have an update video on my new air water trap system as well. So stick around for the results on that too. I'll make a video on that. So thanks for watching.